watching RTE1. News and sport is presented now by John Finnerty and Colm Murray.
A very good evening and welcome to Saturday 6-1 News and Sport. First, the headlines. Row between nurses and employers over disclosure that pay stops when strike starts. At their summit in Finland, European Union leaders draw up plans to harmonise crime laws. And pressure builds on military regime in Pakistan to restore democracy.
And later, I'll be bringing you all the day's sports news as Sonia O'Sullivan continues her comeback with a new world record. But disappointment for Padraig Harrington as Colin Montgomery reaches the World Match Play final.
A row has developed between unions and employers over the disclosure today that nurses' pay will be stopped on Tuesday morning if they go out on strike. The Irish Nurses Organisation has described the move as an open act of provocation. However, the Health Service Employers Agency has dismissed criticism, contending it's in line with accepted practice.
All indicators suggest the nurses will go on strike this Tuesday. However, a report that the Health Service Employers Agency has advised local managers to stop paying nurses on the morning of the strike has caused a storm. SIPTU has expressed disappointment that it found out through the newspapers rather than being told.
We've got to realise now where we are. We're in here for the long haul on this if a strike goes ahead. But what we should be doing at this moment in time is trying to find ways to debate the real issues and to get the real issues dealt with and not just be more confrontational.
The Irish Nurses Organisation took matters a step further, describing the freezing of pay itself as an open act of provocation.
It's reckless, it's irresponsible, and it's aimed at starving nurses off the picket line. But we will not rise to it. Nurses will still provide emergency cover free of charge to the patients who they believe they owe their services.
The Health Service Employers Agency has tonight dismissed the claims. It maintains union officials were briefed at a meeting last Wednesday and there was no dissent.
Quite frankly, I found their outburst extraordinary. On the one hand, they're saying that nurses are going to be working for nothing for the duration of the strike at their insistence, and on the next breath they're complaining over the fact that they're not going to be paid.
Meetings have been taking place over the weekend between management and strike committees in a bid to finalise plans for emergency cover. However, the Irish Hospital Consultants Association has expressed serious concern at the consequences of a prolonged strike. Paul Cunningham, RTE News, Dublin.
The European Union has drawn up plans to harmonise asylum and immigration laws by the year 2004. At the end of the EU summit in Finland, heads of government agreed several new proposals to tackle crime.
The legacy of Veronica Guerin found expression in Finland this weekend. It was following her murder 3 years ago that the Irish government moved to tackle organised crime. EU leaders have now agreed they must do more to defeat Europe's growing problem of cross-border crime, including money laundering. The leaders approved several new initiatives and set deadlines for their introduction. There will be a new task force of top police officers to tackle cross-border crime. An international prosecution unit will coordinate investigations in cases of organised crime. Lawyers, accountants and estate agents, as well as banks and finance houses throughout Europe, will be obliged to report suspicious transactions to the authorities. Ireland's Criminal Assets Bureau came in for a special mention in the summit conclusions. Set up following Veronica Guerin's murder, it gave the authorities considerable new powers, including the right to seize the assets of suspected criminals. The Taoiseach has confirmed that several countries, including Britain, have studied the Bureau with a view to introducing a similar model.
At this stage, it is the best and the strongest model within the community, and I would be conscious about that as it takes effect and as around Europe other countries follow that criminals will try and do other things, and I think we're going to have to be conscious of that moving forward.
The new Commission President felt happy that the summit had dealt with issues that are important to ordinary people.
But nobody can tell us, you live only for bankers, you work only for currency program. Now, this is the foundation of democratic life,
Of course, it's early days yet, but Romano Prodi has a right to be pleased. This was the kind of start Jacques Delors would be proud of. Tommy Gorman, RTE News, Tampere.
Pakistan's new military leader, General Pervez Musharraf, has postponed a planned address to the nation in which he was expected to outline his plans. Meanwhile, the EU has threatened to cut off aid to Pakistan unless it produces a timetable within a month for the restoration of democracy.